Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our final day of Meet the Primes. I'm Maria Quiroz, Interim Manager for the Small Business Development Department. I'd like to welcome you all to the San Diego International Airport first virtual Meet the Primes event 2020. Most of you remember last year's, we were at Balboa Park and had over 60 exhibitors and nearly 500 attendees. This year is definitely different, but we still wanted to provide small businesses to the opportunity to outreach and connect with the primes. For any businesses new to Meet the Primes, the objective of our event is not only to present the industry prime contractors, but also to provide resources to help small businesses become successful, to learn about opportunities, resources, and valuable information that can help elevate your business. With that said, I want to welcome Brad this morning from PTAC, who is going to be our first presenter this morning. Following, we will have the Public Agencies panel. Welcome, Brad, and thank you for your participation.
Thanks, Maria, and good morning, everybody. I'm really happy to be participating in this event. I wanted to thank the San Diego International Airport for inviting us. They are also one of our sponsors, and I'll tell you a little bit about our sponsors and our program in just a few minutes. So just to introduce myself, my name is Brett Householder. I am the Acting Director for the San Diego, Orange, and Imperial Procurement Technical Assistance Center. I recommend just using the acronym PTAC because it's a lot easier to say. And we're a little bit unique because you're going to be hearing from a panel of a lot of local agencies today that have contract opportunities. I'm sure they're going to tell you what sort of opportunities they have, where you need to register in order to find those opportunities, how to submit bids and proposals, and all of that information. And it's going to be a little bit unique for each agency. Every agency does it slightly differently. The PTAC is unique in that we are not an agency with contract opportunities. We're actually a resource program to help small businesses go after government contracts. And you're going to hear from a lot of great local agencies today, but we also help with state of California contracts and federal contracts. So I'm going to describe some of the services we provide and kind of tell you how, as a small business, we can work with you to help you learn how to navigate the contracting process. Because if you're a beginner and it's a new market for you, it's going to be a little bit confusing at first. And that's why our program exists as kind of a resource to help you figure out how that all works. So I don't have a lot of slides today, and I've only got a few minutes, so I'm going to focus mainly on our next slide, which describes our services. But I did want to just give you a little bit of information on our mission, which is pretty straightforward. We help any business that's located in San Diego, Orange, or Imperial County with figuring out or learning how to do business with federal, state, and local government agencies. And the important thing to take away on this slide, and I'll reiterate this several times, is our services are free of charge. We do have one particular service that I'll talk about in a minute that does have a fee attached to it, but it's completely optional and you don't have to sign up for that service to work with us. So just please remember, if you take nothing else away from my few minutes here, is we are available to help you for free. And the reason that's important to understand is if you were to go out on Google and start to look for some of these services that you need help with, there's a good chance that the first search result you're going to see is some consultant saying that they would help you with that for hundreds or thousands of dollars, and you absolutely don't need to pay anything for these types of services. So our program provides 3 core services, and one of them is kind of what we're doing today, is outreach and training workshops. We all obviously are doing them all by webinar right now, but we do close to 100 events per year. And when we do our own workshops, like for example, today I'm participating in the event that's hosted by the San Diego Airport, but we host our own webinars and we have several topics that we cover on a regular basis. We do a introductory class once a month, which is called Are You Ready for Government Contracting? Kind of covers the really broad overview of what to think about if you're new to contracting and you don't really know where to get started. We have classes on how to market to government agencies, how to prepare a document called a capability statement, which I'm sure some of you are familiar with. We have classes on certifications that are available. You're going to hear a lot about certifications, I'm sure, from all of our panelists. We have a class on how to prepare an effective proposal when you're submitting a response to an RFP. And then we also have partners like the San Diego International Airport and several other of the public agency consortium members that will host webinars with us where they talk specifically about how to do business with their agency. So for all the agencies you're going to hear from today, it's going to be kind of a real quick introduction and some basic information about how they buy products and services. But if you attend one of our webinars with them on doing business with whatever agency it may be, you'll get a much more comprehensive, hour and a half to 2 hour workshop on how their agency advertises opportunities, collects bids, makes awards, things like that. So the trainings and workshops are a big part of what we do. We host several of them I would say on average right now, since we're doing them all virtually, we're doing about 2 a week on various contracting topics. And in those 2 hours, our goal is we'll give you something that's hopefully going to be valuable and beneficial, but there's a good chance that when you log off of that webinar, you're going to have follow-up questions and say, okay, that was helpful to know about these certifications that are available for my business, but how do I actually go through that process? And that's where our next service really comes into play. It's our one-on-one counseling. So if you attend a webinar and have follow-up questions, I would strongly encourage you to sign up as a client and request an appointment with one of our counselors. We have 2 full-time counselors and 3 part-time counselors that are available. They each have different areas of expertise, but in general, all of them can answer most questions. And if they're not the right counselor for you, they will make sure that they connect you with one of our counselors who's a little bit more experienced in whatever area you're talking about in your appointment. But you can schedule an appointment. We schedule 1 hour appointments. You can come, well, I always say come in, but you can log on to virtual counseling sessions as much as you want. We have, like I said, 5 counselors that are available all throughout the week, and their schedules do fill up a little bit. So it's unlikely if you called us at 4 o'clock today that we would be able to schedule at 8:30 in the morning tomorrow with one of our counselors, but generally we can get you on somebody's calendar within about a week. So that's kind of a big part of what we do. The webinars to provide you that basic information, the one-on-one counseling to answer specific questions. And I just want to reiterate, those are absolutely unlimited. You can come to as many workshops as you want. You can come to the same one every time we do it if you want. And you can absolutely sign up for counseling as much as you need. It's actually a beneficial relationship if you come schedule appointments with our counselors on a regular basis and kind of think of us as part of your team, essentially, that's helping you with the government contracting aspect of your business. And also because of the way we're funded, one of our big goals that we have to meet every year to receive the funding we get from both the federal government and the state government, state of California, is a certain number of counseling hours we have to have with all of our clients. So we have goals every year that if we don't get a certain number of hours with our clients, there's a chance that we won't get the same funding that we've gotten in the past. And so the more you come in is going to be beneficial for your business, and the more you meet with our counselors is going to be beneficial for our performance goals that we have to meet. So the workshops and the counseling are a large part of what we do, and those are absolutely free. But I did mention earlier, we have one service that has a fee attached to it, and that's our bid match services. So bid match is essentially a search profile we create for your business where we put in keywords related to the type of work you do. We put in industry codes related to the type of work you do. And if you're not familiar with the various systems that the government uses to classify different industries and products and services, we can help you figure that out. We tell it geographically where to search. So if you have a product or a service that you can provide anywhere in the country, it looks at up to 2,000 websites on a daily basis of where all these opportunities all over the country are posted. And basically what it does is it takes that search criteria we put in your profile, tries to find matches on these websites of bid opportunities, and then sends you a daily email with just a summary list of here's the new opportunities that we've identified that you might want to take a look at. It's a huge time saver. If you're monitoring all these different websites manually on your own, it could be almost a full-time job by itself. So it's a good way to get a snapshot of new opportunities that are out there that you might want to you might be interested in. And again, there is a fee attached to it. We have an annual fee of $199, which we hope is not too prohibitive for most businesses. But the good news is we give you a 30-day trial. So we'll turn it on for a month. And after that month, if the search results you're seeing are nowhere close to what you're looking for, we'll just turn it off and not worry about the fee. So you have a chance to kind of figure out if it's worth it for you before you make the decision to purchase that annual fee or purchase that annual membership for the service. So this is honestly, the bulk of my presentation is this slide talking about our services, but I do have a few other pieces of information I want to share just because it gives you a good idea of the types of businesses we help and the success that they have. In our last annual report, we were very thrilled to be able to report that contract awards by our clients were nearly $174 million in the last year. And that's at the federal level, the state level, and with local agencies that you're going to hear from on the panel. And some of the types of businesses we help, we have several goals related to helping minority-owned firms, veteran-owned firms, women-owned small businesses, businesses located in hub zones, which we won't discuss really in detail what a hub zone is today, but it's a historically underutilized business zone. And so we have a lot of different diverse clients that we help, and we track all of this information. We send out a survey once a quarter. So if you do sign up for counseling services with us, the only thing we will ask you, and it's not payment, but the only thing we'll ask you in return for our services is to fill out our survey that we send out every quarter. If you win a contract award, we ask you what agency it was with, what the amount was, the dollar amount, very general description of what the service or product was. And then every year we compile all of that data. We don't report any of it publicly unless we contact you to ask you to be a success story for us, which we love doing those and featuring our clients that have had successes. But we do report this total number every year to our funding partners to show them that our work is actually having an impact in the community. So again, pretty proud of our 174 million that we won last year, or our clients won last year that we reported, and we'll be putting the numbers together for this year very soon as well. And then also over the life of our program, there have been some really great people that have been a part of the PTAC before I came on board that built a really strong program in the San Diego community. And we've since been able to expand into Orange and Imperial counties as well. But over the life of the program, starting back in 1995, our clients have reported over $1.6 billion in contract awards. And we use a very simple formula that says for every $150,000 in a contract award, that equals one job that's either created or retained by the small business. So that 1.6 billion works out to be about 10,600 jobs that we've helped create or retain over the life of the program in our community. And we send out an annual client satisfaction survey, and I'm not good at patting ourselves on the back, but we do get very high success or satisfaction rates on that survey every year. So we're proud of that as well. And I think that speaks really to the quality of counseling that our counselors provide. I get the fun job of going out and talking about our program and introducing us to the community, but the real stars of the show are our counselors that do the I don't want to call it dirty work, but the one-on-one contact with our clients to help them really get through some of these processes that can be a little confusing. So I am just going to give you a quick list of what webinars we have coming up in the next few weeks. We do have the Metropolitan Water District next Thursday. We have, or I'm sorry, this Thursday, that's tomorrow. We have a funding partner doing a presentation on, okay, you want a contract, but now what? You might need to find a way to finance that contract. So they're going to be talking specifically about after you win an award, what do you do to actually make sure you have the capital to work through that contract? And then every other month we do a workshop on contracting certifications. And again, I'm sure our panel will mention some of them. There are a lot of certifications, and it's really important to know which ones you qualify for because it can be a great way to narrow down the competition when you're competing on certain contracts. So these slides I am sure will be available afterwards, so you don't have to worry about copying down all these URLs and the dates and everything. Here's a few links that you can sign up for our counseling, or you can email us directly at that email address. And if there's, for some reason, an attendee here today that's not located in San Diego, Orange, or Imperial counties, rest assured there is a PTAC somewhere nearby you. It's just that we have different areas different service areas that we provide our services in. So if you're not in one of those three counties, just use the website there. That's the national website where you can find a PTAC anywhere in the country. And we are active on social media. So if you want to engage with us on social media, you absolutely can do that. And I believe that is all I have for everybody. So I will be happy to answer any questions, and I'll stick around just in case. I will also throw my contact information into the chat box so everybody has email and phone number for me as well. So Maria, back to you or our next presenter.
So Alma, do we have any questions in the chat box?
We have no questions, actually. Oh, actually, one question just popped up. We have a question about the majority of prime contractors invited to present for the earlier workshops. Oh, I guess this is a question more so for Maria. So Jennifer Trotter, I will actually hold on your question and I'll forward it to Maria and she'll be able to answer it. We're really focused on questions for PTAC at the moment. And
so Alma, I don't want to interrupt, but that actually did give me a thought as well.
Oh, sure.
And it was for PTAC. She just said. So Jennifer, I'm glad you asked that question because I kind of sped through our workshops and the ones we do with our partners that are agencies, but we also have sponsors that are local large prime contractors, and we absolutely encourage them anytime they want to do a workshop that we host with them so that they can get their name and their projects out there in front of our large database of small businesses that they could use as a subcontractor. So the short answer is absolutely yes. And I'll put my information in the chat, Jennifer, and if you want to reach out to me directly, I'm happy to talk with you more about that.
Great, perfect. Other than that, it looks like no, there's no questions at the moment for PTAC. Thank you, Brett, for a wonderful presentation. Back to you, Maria.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you both. Thank you, Brad. It was a great presentation. So now what we're going to do is move on to our panel with our public agencies. And the first agency we have this morning is Caltrans District 11. Maria Ibarra will be presenting.
Hi, Maria. Good morning.
Good morning, Maria. Thank you for participating in our Meet the Primes event. So this morning, I'm going to go ahead and ask you several questions, and if you could just help us with answering and then sharing some of your ins and outs. Describe your agency for us.
Yes, again, my name is Maria Ibarra. I'm the Acting Business Services Manager here at Caltrans District 11. Our district, which is District 11, covers 2 counties, San Diego and Imperial County. Our district stretches over 4,200 miles, comprising of 22 state highways. We have 4 interstate freeways, and we also cover 6 international border ports of entry. And because our district covers an area consisting of 25 incorporated cities, there are many different opportunities for the small business community. And I also want to share our mission as a district small business team. Our team is committed to promote the utilization of small, disadvantaged, and disabled veteran-owned businesses in procurement and contracting to further contribute to Caltrans' mission of enhancing Californians' economy and livability.
All those highways that we drive on, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you, Maria. What kind of upcoming opportunities do you have?
Yeah, so we do have a couple of upcoming opportunities. We have an invitation for bid on call and immediate response locksmith services within San Diego County that is going to be advertised tomorrow, 11/5, November 5th. It's contract number 11A3144. We also have a project to replace a guardrail system, which is going to be advertised November 11th. And the contract number for that is 11424604. And these 2 projects can be pulled up through the Cali Procure database, which is www.caliprocure.ca.gov, which I can provide in the chat box later on. I can type it in. We also have a construction project that's coming up for bid, actually has already advertised for bid, which is 11056374, which is a interchange replacing HMA and installing lighting. So that's the bidding is open in January 7th. So check those out, and that could be found in our contractors corner. And it's our website within our Caltrans website.
Great, thank you for all that information. And we do have those two websites posted on the screen, so thank you. Do you require pre-qualifications from your general contractors?
Yeah, so pre-qualification, it really depends. Caltrans has many opportunities for various types of businesses, which includes, as you know, construction, professional services, various commodity types. Therefore, depending on the type of solicitation and the scope of work, there are different requirements. So the best thing I would recommend would be reading up on those specifications in detail to understand which requirements are needed, so that you could be a responsible bidder. I would suggest contacting the contract analyst or the contract manager assigned to those in the advertisement and assigned to those projects to address contract specific questions. And folks can also schedule a one-on-one with one of our team members to make sure that they have a better understanding overall of the process.
Great, thank you. And
Welcome.
hopefully they take advantage of that one-on-one, because I know
Yes,
it's very helpful.
definitely. And the email is to schedule a one-on-one meeting, or if they have any questions, it's on the slide, d11.smallbusiness@dot.ca.gov.
Great, thank you, Maria.
You're
I'm going to go
welcome.
ahead and just ask one more question. When a small contractor is trying to do business or trying to obtain work from the larger contractors that you guys work with, how do they go about doing that? How do they find that connection?
So we understand that not all small businesses have the capacity to bid work or prime for Caltrans, because our projects are mostly big projects. Therefore, Contractors Corner and the Cali Procure platforms are really good resources for all subs to see who may be interested in bidding Caltrans projects. So both of these resources have the feature where a prime can solicit opportunities for certified subs. So definitely check out those websites. If you need additional technical assistance as far as where you need to go, reach out to us and we'll definitely schedule a one-on-one meeting with you.
Great. Thank you, Maria, for your participation this morning. And now we're going to bring in our second panelist, and that is going to be the County of San Diego. Good morning, Judy.
Good morning, Maria. Thank you so much for having us today.
Thank you for joining us. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So please describe your agency. What do you guys do? Let's let everybody know who you guys are.
Absolutely. So I'm Judy Yang, Program Manager of Outreach and Education for the Purchasing Department at the County of San Diego. Obviously, the County of San Diego is a local government agency, and we provide a wide range of public services and goods. Everything from the public health officer that sets out health guidelines for the county, to the Ag Weights and Measures Department that makes sure that when you go to the pump, that when you're getting a gallon of gas, that it's actually a gallon. So that's why you see the county seal at all of your local gas stations. We also have a protective services group with our own sheriff that covers the unincorporated area and any cities that might contract us. So really the County of San Diego provides a very, very broad range of services or public services for the region. Our agency, we operate with a $6.5 billion annual budget. That's about $250 million higher than last year. So we are actually expanding, and about 1/5 to 1/4 of that annual budget is spent on contracting and procured goods and services. So we do quite a lot of spending for our contracts or through our contractors and vendors. And we definitely want to continue that great relationship with small businesses. And we're always looking for more suppliers.
Great information for those that are suppliers that are looking to expand their business. You would be a good contact for them. Is there any opportunities coming up that you could share with us this morning?
Absolutely. So you'll see under our vendor portal site that's on the screen right now, bynet.sdcounty.ca.gov. That is, if you take nothing else away from this, that's probably the most important website or link that you want to bookmark. So if you go in there, you can browse as a guest and you can see all of our current open solicitations. So any given morning, usually when I'm drinking my coffee, I'll log in and see what's been posted. There's typically around 30 opportunities are posted at any given time because we're constantly looking for things to buy. So this morning when I was having breakfast and I was just kind of browsing through to see what was there, there's a few that caught my eye that I want to mention. So solicitation 10527 includes as needed vehicle repair, maintenance, and parts, and that's due in 5 days on November 9th. We also have some construction projects. One of them is solicitation 10580. That is the Sweetwater Road Pathway Improvement Project, due in a couple weeks, so coming up pretty shortly. There's also, I saw a chain link construction electric power installation due in about a week. That's solicitation 10586. We are also looking for a general building contractor right now, which is, we call it a job order contract that's good for a year. And that's an as-needed service. Obviously, as we need different construction or different building things or maintenance items done, we don't want to go out every single time for one of those things because we have a lot of buildings we're going to need that on an ongoing basis. So we do a job order contract that's generally lasts for 1 year. And that is solicitation 10566. There's also a number of other things. Anything, we're also looking to buy a few trucks I saw. Dry ice for in anticipation of the COVID vaccine. We're going to need dry ice to make sure all those vaccines stay cool. We're also looking for some traffic data collectors, a lobby queuing system. There's also some health services in there that we're looking for the sheriff. So if you go in any given day, there's going to be a number of things that we're looking for, anything from office supplies to more involved services and everything in between. So do make sure that you're on the BuyNet site to see what opportunities are available. Now, obviously, everyone doesn't have the luxury of going in every single day to check what's there. So BuyNet, if you register and set up your commodity profile, BuyNet will send you an email anytime something's posted that might be in your area of interest. So I strongly recommend that you go on the site, set up a profile for your company or yourself, and make sure that you're getting those notifications. So that way you don't have to actively log in, but it is fun to just check in to see what's there on any given day because there's a lot of interesting things that the County of San Diego does contract out.
Great, Judy, thank you. And for those that are attending right now, the most important thing, make sure you register on their portal. Does your agency have any preference programs?
We do. So starting January earlier this year, the San Diego County implemented a 5% preference program for local small businesses and veteran-owned businesses and DVBEs. So what that means is you both need to have a physical address within the County of San Diego, and you also need to be a registered small business entity with the state of California, or a veteran-owned business, or a DVBE. And if you are both local and one of those SBE, VOB, or DVBEs, then you do get a 5% preference on your price for all of our bids, so RFPs, and on your price for your any RFP proposals.
Great. It's nice to have those preferences. Thank you, Judy, for your participation this morning.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
And don't forget, if you guys have questions, please write them in the chat and we will go ahead and address them at the end of our presentations. So next we have NCTD. It's the North County Transit District. Welcome, Bradley.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Good morning. So please tell us what your agency does.
So North County Transit District provides transportation services for North San Diego County. So our area extends from the Pacific Ocean east to Ramona, and then from the Orange County border south to Del Mar. Our transit services include our commuter rail service, which is our coaster, our light rail, which is our sprinter, our bus system, which is our breeze, and we have a rural and on-demand service, flex, and paratransit, which is our lift service.
Great, thank you. Do you guys have a pre-qualification for businesses to do work with you?
It depends on what the procurement is. Some of them do, some of them don't. A lot of what we do is just we fix things up, and we also just maintain it as well. And so depending on what it is that we're trying to do, some of our procurements might have some requirements for qualifications beforehand, some of them won't. The best thing to do is to look at our vendors portal, which is through Planet Bids, and you can look at each specific procurement and see if there are any requirements before submitting a bid.
Great, thank you. Brett mentioned Planet Bids. Keep in mind that a lot of us, public agencies, use Planet Bids. However, you have to register for each agency, just to keep one thing there. How about opportunities coming up?
Yeah, so we have a couple of them coming up. Some of them are fire suppression upgrade, which is invitation number 29624. We are looking for a high rail backhoe, which is invitation number 29785. On SSI support, which is invitation number 29743, as well as fare box purchases, rider's guide printing and delivery. We also have an on-call transit planning bench planned for later on this November.
So obviously some great opportunities coming up. Now, how does a small business get involved with your larger contractors that are doing all this great work for you?
So one of the best ways for small businesses to join up and partner with some of the larger prime contractors is through participating in our pre-bid meetings. For a majority of our pre-bid meetings, there's a portion of it where there's a networking opportunity where all small businesses are able to introduce themselves, talk about their interest in the project, and as well as exchange contact information with other contractors. And another great way too is to reach out to the PTAC as well as the Small Business Development Center. We work with those agencies all the time, let them know what we have coming up, and if you are registered as a vendor in one of those databases, either Brett or SBDC Cheryl will be able to reach out to you and let you know about the upcoming opportunity to partner with a prime contractor.
So make sure you guys get involved with PTAC so you can connect to some of these great opportunities. Thank you. Thank you for your participation this morning.
My pleasure.
Moving forward, we're going to go ahead and welcome the Port of San Diego, Shirley.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Welcome. And thank you for your participation. Describe your agency to us, Shirley. I'm sure that you guys do a lot for San Diego.
Well, thank you. Yes. So the Port of San Diego is a special district that was set up by the state of California to provide services to all the citizens of the state of California. And we oversee the coastal tidelands surrounding San Diego Bay. We touch 5 cities: Chula Vista, Imperial Beach, National City, Coronado, and San Diego. We consider ourselves to be an economic engine, creating jobs and dollars for the regional economy through the promotion of maritime trade, tourism, and other commercial activities. We also feel like an environmental steward, preserving and enhancing the natural resources of the San Diego Bay and surrounding tidelands, as well as a provider of community services, providing public access, public safety, recreation, and community activities along the waterfront for visitors and residents of the region. We do have our own Harbor Police Department with about 134 sworn employees that serve the San Diego Bay, the San Diego International Airport, and along the Port Tidelands in our 5 member cities. Some of the public infrastructure that we have around the bay include 2 maritime cargo terminals, B Street Cruise Ship Terminal, the Port Pavilion on Broadway Pier, the San Diego Convention Center, Shelter Island, Harbor Island. And then also we have 5 public piers, museums and attractions, hotels, parks, artwork, restaurants, and many sponsored events. So I try to just give you an idea of where you might fit in. Cruise lines are a huge opportunity. Most of those cruise lines are sort of mini cities in of themselves. So all the products and services that an agency would procure, they would probably also procure. And we also have a lot of developments around San Diego Bay. So maybe not a direct opportunity with the district, but with one of our 800 tenants, if they are doing work around the Bay or development around the Bay, then there are certainly areas of opportunity there. Right now, we do have the Chula Vista Bayfront development, which is huge. And then also the North Embarcadero area, the Seaport Village area, and the Bayside Performance is being constructed right now. So again, I just wanted to mention those opportunities as well. So just in a nutshell, that's our agency.
Thank you, Shirley. And thank you for sharing a lot of great information, a lot going on, a lot of opportunities out there. So does your agency have any preference programs? I'm sorry.
We do have a small business program. It's a voluntary program. We always have to follow the money where we look at any funding that we receive, whether it be a grant. We do build our own budget through our tenants and collection of rents. So we do have a voluntary small business program. We do look at every opportunity prior to it being advertised to determine whether there would be a small business participation goal. And anytime we do receive any grant funding, we do make sure that we adhere to their requirements. So all of our construction projects are public works projects, so we go with the low bidder. Those projects will have goals if they're feasible. We do have professional service and service agreements that are best value. And under that best value program, we do have a standard matrix. We do have bonus points for small business participation, disabled veteran participation, and also employees with disabilities. So there are 4 or 5 categories of bonus points that go onto our scoring matrix under best value. So it's not exactly like the preference programs that you've heard about earlier, but again, some incentives.
So definitely a good thing for a business to get certified.
Yes.
Great. Now, how does a contractor get involved, or how do they learn about your opportunities?
So we do use Planet Bids as our vendor registration. So anyone who wants to do business, I highly recommend that you get registered in our Planet Bids database. We will use that database to find businesses that provide the product or services that we are looking for. Anything that's close to 175,000 must be advertised, and we will go to that database and identify all of the individuals that could perform products or services associated with that and send out a notice. Anything that is less than that, there are various thresholds, but if you are registered, then I can let me know that you are registered, and then I send it out to the end users so that you get a little bit more visibility for those projects that are not advertised. So Planet Bid is the portal that we use. It's also a really good resource. You can look at all of our past bids. You can look at the bids that were successful. You can generate the plan holders list. So you can identify people that you may want to partner with or subcontract with or provide services to as part of a solicitation. It's a really good resource for all kinds of information.
Again, Planet Bids. So make sure you guys register for each public agency. keep in mind that that's the way that you could get notifications for opportunities. Shirley, do you require a pre-qualification for your general contractors?
Not on our projects that we put out ourselves. Developers that have their own contracts, they administer their own contracts, they may have some pre-qualifications, but no, our projects do not. We just, you know, I would recommend that people get certified as if they meet their qualifications for small business. Because when we do set a goal, then there may be some incentive to make sure to do outreach to your companies.
Great. Thank you, Shirley, for your participation this morning. And thank you. Great picture on your slide.
Yeah.
Okay, moving forward, our next panelist will be SANDAG. Elaine.
Good morning. Good morning, Maria, and thank you so much for inviting the San Diego Association of Governments to participate in this event. We always want to outreach to as many small and disadvantaged businesses as possible. So as you can see from our slide, we have a lot of resource information for you right here, so you can just copy that down while I speak to you.
Thank you, Elaine. So let's start with you describing what SANDAG does, or who you are.
Thank you. So SANDAG is the Metropolitan Planning Organization for the San Diego region. And so we're responsible for planning and also transportation. So you may have heard we have rolled out this whole 5 big moves that is going to transform how we move people and goods and services throughout our region. It is really exciting on the technology, the huge ideas we have in terms of, you know, automated vehicles, et cetera. So it's a huge plan that we are developing, starting with the airport. We're going to be doing a lot of work with the airport, et cetera. In addition, you may have seen as you drive up the 5 freeway, up and down the 5 freeway, that we are adding 11 miles to our trolley system. So it's going to go from the downtown area all the way up to the Veterans Hospital, UT University Town Center, and of course, UC San Diego. So Anthony's coming up soon. So anyway, so exciting. I actually was just out there touring it on Monday, and oh my gosh, to see how much progress has been made, because you know it's going to be opening next year in November. So we're very, very excited about that. It's a $2.3 billion project, the largest transportation project to ever be built in the San Diego region. In addition, our agency is actually governed by a board of directors that's composed of mayor, supervisor, council members, et cetera, from our 18 cities in the county. And we actually serve as a public forum. So we have a lot of participation at our board meetings because there's a lot of very interested parties in what we're doing with transportation in the region. So my name is Elaine Richardson. I am the Director of Diversity and Equity. And I, ask all of you, if any of you want to do work with SANDAG, we want you to do work with SANDAG. So please feel free to contact me or to get a hold of us and using any of the links that are right here on the screen for you. And our main objective for the diversity and equity, for the Office of Diversity and Equity, is that we really want to break down barriers so that small and disadvantaged firms can do business with us. So remember that we're here to help you do business with us.
Great, thank you, Elaine. And definitely, if you guys want to start doing business with them, definitely reach out to them. They're great. They always come up with new programs and especially focus on the small businesses. What kind of upcoming opportunities do you have, and how does the business hear about these opportunities?
Okay, so first of all, you want to register in our, so we actually are transitioning from Planet Bids to BidNet. So you want to register in BidNet because that's where all of the procurements are currently being advertised. So that's your first step. And then you want to enter in the NAICS codes that are applicable to the work that your firm does. So that's how you, and then how, if you want to know how to do that, then you go to sandag.org/smallbiz and it'll walk you through how to register. In terms of opportunities, we have so many opportunities going on right now. So the first two that I really, well, first of all, we have our upcoming projects lists that you can access on our website, and we can tell you how to do that. So we have several like professional services procurements coming up, construction. We have a lot of bike paths that we're building. And we actually are starting to work on the point of entry. So we're responsible for the third border crossing. So the Otay Mesa port of entry. So there's a lot of procurement studies going out for, traffic studies, et cetera. But what I really wanted to talk to you about was the procurement that's going to be hopefully released. I'm crossing my fingers within the next 2 weeks, which is our on-call construction management procurement. And we're hoping that comes out soon. We actually just hosted a virtual speed networking, and I'm going to be talking about how you can join the bench. But we have a bench of small and disadvantaged firms that can do one or more of the construction management services. So we just hosted a virtual speed networking event, and we had over 600 meetings. It was like phenomenal. And so the feedback that we've been receiving is that it's like the best, speed networking event that they've ever actually attended. And one of them said in the country, so maybe they've been across the country. I don't know, but what our biggest objective with this is to help the small businesses and DBs make that connection. And they actually were able to make the connection. And because we had the event before the procurement came out, they were actually put on some of the teams for the primes that are going to be bidding, which is a great thing. That's what we want. We want the small businesses to be recognized and to be part of the work that's coming up for us. So that's the first procurement. The second procurement that's coming up is the architecture and engineering on-call procurement. That's going to be advertised in January. And between December 8th through the 10th, we're actually going to be hosting another virtual speed networking event. And so do you want to be a part of that? Well, we want you to be a part of that. So how you do that is you're going to register for a bench program, and you can either register for the A&E bench program, the CM bench program, et cetera. But for the A&E bench program, you need to be registered so that you can be part of that. And we're expecting even more than 100 matches because it's over 3 days instead of 2. So to be a bench, you just have to be a DBE, a disadvantaged business enterprise certified, or a small business, and you have to do one or more of the services, and that's it. You're in, and we can get you approved. And to be part of this, it is a great thing, and it's a great way for you to meet the primes in our region.
Thank you. Great information, and congratulations on your event and the great opportunities you make for the small businesses, because that's what it's all about.
Yep.
Now do you have a pre-qualification process?
We do not have a pre-qualification process for construction. Basically, you just need to register in our database BidNet, choose the NAICS codes. What we say is try to choose as many applicable NAICS codes as you can, because what we want you to do is when you choose those NAICS codes, that will, and you're in our BidNet system, once a procurement is advertised, it's going to make that connection within the BidNet system, and it will send you an invitation to say, hey, we've just posted a construction project, et cetera. Then you're going to go in, you're going to look at the procurement, you're going to find out, oh, this is when the pre-bid meeting is, and of course it's virtual. And so that's where you're going to make the connections. They will also post a list of all the firms that have attended. So you can reach out and say, hey, I'm a sub that, does, paving or whatever. So anyway, we do not have pre-qualification, but we do want you to register because that's how you're going to make the connection. And also for our professional services, we have the bench program. So definitely, it's not a requirement that you actually join the bench program, but I do have to tell you the primes that we work with asked us to develop this whole bench program. Like when we did the A&E, the construction management firm said, hey, we want a bench. And we just initiated a planning bench last year, and that has been highly successful in getting work to our small and disadvantaged businesses. Any other questions?
Great. So it's, again, register and make sure you register correctly, so that way you get the match.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. And does your agency have any preference programs?
Yes, so we recognize 2 certifications. We recognize the Disadvantaged Business Enterprise certification, which is a federal program we're required to establish because we receive federal highway and federal transit federal funds. And to become a DBE, you can use the PTAC that just presented to you, because they have counseling that can help you get through the certification process, and also the Small Business Development Center. They are very experienced. So whether you're North County or South County, et cetera, they will help you free of charge, because we help support both those programs, because we want you to get certified as soon as possible. The other certification that we recognize is the Small Business Certification through the California Department of General Services. And that one, I am happy to tell you that we are rolling out a 15% small business goal on the construction management procurement and the architecture and engineering procurement. So for any of the non-federal work, they have to meet this 15% goal. So anyway, it's another step in the right direction of providing more opportunities to small and disadvantaged businesses.
Thank you, Elaine, for your great participation and all the information you have provided us this morning.
Thank you, Maria. Definitely appreciate all that you do for the businesses. And you know what? Go airport, because we're here to support you too. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Next is UCSD. Good morning, Anthony.
Good morning, Maria. How are you today?
Hi, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing excellent, my friend.
Good. So let's start with you sharing what you guys do. What is your agency about?
So first, I want to thank you, Christine, and the airport for inviting UC San Diego to this opportunity. So again, my name is Anthony Singleton. I'm the Chief Small Business Officer for UC San Diego, and I oversee the supplier diversity and sustainable programs. So UC San Diego is recognized as one of the top 15 research universities worldwide and is dedicated to advancement of knowledge through excellence in education and research. We are committed to community engagement, public service, and industry partnerships in order to advance the health and well-being of our region. So our business programs support the university through our mission in equity, diversity, and inclusion.
Thank you, Anthony. Can you share with us this morning some of your upcoming opportunities that you might have, and how does a business get involved?
Very good questions. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop that in the chat really quickly here, and then I'll share with you. So I just dropped that information in the chat, but we have 2 systems. We have the CalUSource public bid system. That's the university system where all of our opportunities are posted for public viewing. You don't have to be registered to view those opportunities, but if you'd like to participate, you can then register in the system. And then also on the construction side of the house, we have planning, design, and construction, and it's called Planet Design Build System. So you register there to be notified of any opportunities that are coming up. And some of the opportunities, depending on whether it's, again, a construction or procurement opportunity, will vary if you need to be pre-qualified. So in doing a live search this morning, looking in our system, we have opportunities for retail. We also will be updating our central utilities plant. We're doing an RFP for technology tools and services. And we're looking for someone that has experience in crowdfunding and texting solution. And also electronic components and supplies. So we have a variety of opportunities. So the best thing for you to do is get to that university public bid site, which is called Cal eProcure, and kind of peruse the opportunities that we have available.
Great. So everybody, make sure you register. Can we talk about some of your preference programs that you have? Does certification make a difference or it doesn't matter?
Certification definitely does make a difference. So right now we have our federal contracting programs and we accept all federal certifications. And we also have our supply diversity programs, which includes federal and state. But we're also working on developing our first ever set aside program for the state of California. So we're excited about that. And it's planned to be launched in March of 2021. So again, the purpose of this program will be to increase utilization of these types of businesses, especially the small businesses that have been hit by way of the pandemic, right? Trying to keep their business doors open, support their families, create jobs, those types of things. All those types of goals align with the university's mission. So there'll be more to come on this particular opportunity over the next couple of months.
Great. So everybody keep your eyes open for those opportunities. When contractors get work, and how do they get involved, or how does small business get involved with that larger prime when they get work from you?
Okay, can you repeat that? An airplane just flew over, I'm sorry.
Oh, great. Okay. How does a small business get involved, or how do they know what larger primes are doing the work for you? How do they make that connection?
Okay, one way to make an introduction to us, we have a program called the Capability Meetings Program. So that's on our website, and I can give you that address now. It's very, very simple. It's ipps.ucsd.edu. Again, ipps.ucsd.edu. When you go there, you click on Capability Meetings, you can register to have a dedicated meeting to meet with our team, right? You get a chance to meet with our buyers, meet with our small business team, and we put together the best option for you to do business. And it's a great way to determine if your product or your program is actually good for the university, or if you should be working with our other public agencies. But on the construction side of the house, again, they have a program called the Abilities Program, and that can be, again, found through planetdesignbuild.ucsd.edu. Both of these programs are open to anyone who wants to participate. Again, it's a great way to meet the points of contact in the university to find out how to align opportunities with your organization.
Thank you, Anthony, for your participation this morning and all the great information you have provided us with.
Thank you, Maria. It's been wonderful.
So now we're going to go ahead and start addressing the questions. So Alma.
Hi there. Sorry for the delay there. We have a few questions, not too many, so it shouldn't be too difficult for our presenters out there. I'll start off with questions that are direct to specific panelists, which I think should help a little with the timing that we have here. To start, if Shirley, you could answer a question that was asked during the port's presentation. Folks heard you talking about preference certification opportunities. How would someone know or identify an opportunity that has a particular preference for a certification?
So the port does have bonus points for our best value solicitations. So non-construction, non-public works projects, most of our services or professional service type agreements, and all of them will have either a small business participation goal, or if there are no goals, then we implement our bonus point system. And if you do have small business certification or subcontract or sub-consult with a small business, then you can get 5 bonus points. The other categories would be the disabled veterans, and disabled staff. So all of our solicitations, over 175,000, are published and advertised on Planet Bids. We actually have 3 of them going on right now: bird abatement, hull painting, and one other. So you can go on to Planet Bids, click on the solicitation for bird abatement, let's say. I know there's no goal on that, but there will be bonus points. It's a standard matrix in all of our solicitations. So again, either a goal or bonus points. And just go and look at the solicitation. Even if you're not interested in it, you'll get a feel for sort of our matrix of evaluating and what the bonus point categories are.
Got it. So then folks would need to actually look at the solicitation to see what type of bonus points are requested, or the goals that are listed, and then they could go from there.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that question was asked by Vinay. Definitely, it looks like it depends on the solicitation, so you'll have to check out the solicitation individually for each of those that are put out by the port to see whether it's being covered by a goal or if it will have bonus points for a small business certification and any of the other areas that Shirley talked about. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Shirley. The next question is for SANDAG. Elaine, if you can jump on again, if that's okay. We have Jennifer that's asking about public-private partnerships. She wants to know a little bit about the delivery system. Will these continue through the pandemic? And how will small and diverse businesses be included in these public-private partnerships?
Okay, so good question. Because our 5 Big Moves has a huge number of very large projects that, of course, we're not going to be able to fund entirely by ourselves. So we look for public participation. So what we did was we did an on-call planning procurement that actually supports this. And so what my recommendation is how do you get into that? Well, right now, the projects are all in a planning stage. So we do have a planning bench that you could join. And so I highly recommend that you look at our website and it'll tell you how to register, and then you choose the option of joining our bench. But right now, because we're in the very early stages of developing all these projects, how to get involved with our public-private procurements is through that method at this point.
So folks interested in joining with the public-private partnerships, the bench is the way to go.
Yeah.
That's
a planning bench because it's all in the planning stages right now.
The planning bench for SANDAG. Excellent. And I know that you had listed the information earlier. So folks, it's in the chat as well. I think we put a few links for the chat for that as well. So I know for the school district, we also have a lot of projects. We're calling them the lease back projects, and we'll have someone speak on the district later. But, you know, each agency has their own different ways of how, once they award to a prime or once a project is kind of already out there, there's still opportunities for you to connect with those primes, either at the design phase or at the construction phase. So really, part of it is kind of making the connections. And I would suggest to folks out there is try to focus on a public agency. You know, look at the work that the public agency does. And if you have a specialty that matches that public agency, maybe start there. Because if you spread yourself too thin, then it gets a little too crazy, you know. But SANDAG has a lot of work. They have a lot of planning work right now. And they have great goals. So if you have certifications that they're looking for, that's also a way to kind of figure out whether or not they're a good person to connect with or a good agency to connect with. All right. Well, thank you, Elaine. We have a couple of questions. Thank you very much for all of our panelists. If you'd like, we'll just have you all come back on if that's okay. One of these questions actually applies to many of us. And even, I'm not sure if Brett is still on, he might even be able to answer this for us as well. But we had someone ask earlier if any of the San Diego agencies found an increase in needs for online training delivery and or content development for any of our specific sites. And what they wanted to know also was whether these types of services were added to existing vendor scopes or developed as unique opportunities. I know for us at the school district, we kind of took a lot of that on ourselves for business outreach and training and things of that nature. But some of it just kind of for us easily transitioned into teams, and our CMPM teams were able to just transition into online systems and working with our primes and subs. I don't know if any other of you agencies out there want to speak to the online training delivery and content development that you have taken on due to the pandemic.
I can just speak for SANDAG that we do harassment training and those types of things that, every 2 years, the staff has to do. And we do use consultant services to do that and it's being done virtually because nobody's in the office. Well, we have about 10% in the office. So that's how SANDAG handles it.
Excellent.
And on a broad level, I can kind of answer just generally. I don't have any numbers to back it up, but those opportunities are certainly more abundant now than they have been in the past. The question about whether they're being released as their own opportunities or kind of tacked on to existing opportunities, I think it would depend on the agency's fiscal year because now since we're almost 9 months into it, a lot of fiscal years have turned over at this point, and agencies have probably had time to plan ahead if they want to release those opportunities separately. But also I would agree with Alma that this is just my hunch, but I think a lot of those things are being done internally at a lot of agencies too. So just my 2 cents.
Excellent. Bradley, I think you had a little bit to add as well. Thank you, Brett.
Yes, so most of our online training is all done internally, but it doesn't mean that we are not looking for it and won't have a need for it. So my best recommendation is for any companies out there who do online trainings to register with NCTD's Planet Bids vendor portal, because in the event that we do need one, that's the way that we would be able to reach out to you and let you know what we're looking for and request any documentations or information that we may need.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Would anyone else like to add?
And that would be go ahead.
Sorry. So this is Judy from the County of San Diego. And I know this morning, or right now, we have posted a request for bid for bias training. So I know a lot of our departments are taking a look at their processes and wanting to make sure that we're diverse and inclusive. And that goes obviously for contracting and supplying, but also for all of our other services. And I expect that you'll see more of those procurements come out related to those topics. So do keep an eye on BINET for those.
And for UC San Diego, pretty much all of our training's always pretty much been online, with the exception of maybe a few types of opportunities. But I would encourage you to register at our Cal eProcure site. So when those opportunities do come about, not just for UC San Diego, but within the entire UC system, if you're willing to work with other universities, that's the way you will be notified.
Excellent. Thank you so much to all of you for letting us know how the transition has worked out for all of us, and for some of us, how we kind of eased into it because of some of the experience that we already had with some of the online training that had been developed. We have a concern from Mark Furman regarding BidNet. So Brett, you might want to come on. I think you're the one who spoke to BidNet, but I think one of the concerns is a concern that I hear often from folks regarding registration fees and to get bid information and things like that. Now, a lot of the services that public agencies use, like BidNet, like Planet Bids, previously we used to use, oh my gosh, I'm blanking on the name now, but all of these services, they do have a pay for bid notification system that you can sign on for. However, each public agency, if you sign on individually for the public agency, you do not have to pay for the services. So before, with the previous service that we used to use, I used to inform my vendors to if for any reason at any point during their login, it asked them, or during their registration, it asked them to pay or to provide a credit card. I would tell them, call the service directly, because as a public agency, we're already kind of established our contract that the vendors don't pay for the notification systems. And so that should be the case for everyone as well. Now, if you want to expand on the service and get maybe like something a little with more bells and whistles, then you can pay for that system. Brett, I don't know if you can give us a little bit more information on that and how you spoke to it earlier.
I think you nailed it. There's not much I have to add other than to say a lot of those bid websites will give you the option of paying and make it seem like you're going to get some sort of special access that you shouldn't have otherwise, and that's not true. So again, I agree with everything Alma said, and don't pay for anything unless you are able to confirm that there's some sort of absolute value you're getting out of it. But in 99% of the cases, it's not necessary.
And I just wanted to add, BidNet is the system that SANDAG is transitioning to. And it does sound very similar to another service where you pay to receive like information on construction bids throughout the region. And that's not the same system. It is our vendor portal. It's totally free of charge to access. So SANDAG would never charge anyone to want to do business with us.
Excellent. Thank you, Elaine, for that as well. That's great to give folks the heads up, right? That there's some systems that might sound like, and that they might kind of try to convince. I think the same happens sometimes with certifications. You know, folks get notifications of, you know, hey, give us $1,000 and we'll give you, you know, your certification. But a lot of times it's not anything that the offices for SBDC or PTAC, they do the same service for free. So, you know, it's a better deal with PTAC and SBDC. So make sure you reach out to them. And we have two more questions. One question is in regards to publication needs. I know that all of us publicize our information. It looks like we have a publication that is in attendance right now. So do you all ever reach out to new publications and see if maybe you want to post your solicitations, your legal notices in new publications here in San Diego?
So SANDAG does post their procurements in several different newspapers, publications, usually minority, because we want to make sure that we focus on minority, but then we also use like the standard ones like the Green Sheet, the Union Tribune, etc. So yes, SANDAG does post in several different types of publications.
This is Bradley with NCTD. Generally, we just post our procurements on our Planet Bids website. And so we don't currently use any external publications. But again, that doesn't mean that we won't need to. So the best thing is to register with our Planet Bids as a vendor. And if the need comes, you will be informed.
I would also add, this is Shirley from the Port of San Diego. Make sure you get registered because when we do have large projects or, you know, something out of the ordinary, we may do some additional advertising, but we also are always looking for new outreach avenues for recruitment as well for employees. So whether it be employee notice or contracting notice, or just an advertisement or a PR piece on something that we're doing at the port. You want to be registered so that when we go to our Planet Bids database to look for media, you'll show up. Thanks.
And this
Excellent.
is Maria from Caltrans. Alma, just reiterating that we do advertise in Cali Procure. So best way to get information as far as solicitations would be Cali Procure, just like most of the local and state agencies.
Got it. Thank you, Maria. So folks, it sounds like, you know, most of the public agencies, we all have our different online notification system, and that's usually where we post the majority of our work. But for legal notices and sometimes for special projects, there are some needs where we have to go out there. So I would suggest for those of you interested in publications, make sure you contact the presenters directly, just in case there's opportunities for that. And if not, you know, then maybe in the future. And let's see, we have just one general question kind of to all the panelists. We have questions about scope of work, things that folks are looking for. I know that we have a lot of different people on here. Obviously, Caltrans might not be looking for a lot of roofing contractors, maybe at times for some of their buildings, right? But we all know Caltrans builds roads. The airport might not be looking for, let's see, school buildings, right? That would be San Diego Unified. So, so if you would please, I would go down the line with our presenters. Just give us a little bit of like the type of contractors that you're looking for. We have people asking about lighting needs. We have people asking about construction, folks that are asking about, we already talked about publications, but professional services as well, and things like that. So if you would just kind of give us a quick synopsis of maybe what type of scope of work or licenses or things like that you're looking for currently. Elaine, let's start with you.
Okay, thank you, Alma. So at SANDAG, because we do a lot of construction, but what we hire are the primes. So basically you need to be a sub. If you're a lighting or paving or cement or whatever, you need to be a sub under them. And that's why it's so important to make those connections. And that's why you want to register and go to the pre-bid meetings, et cetera. But in addition to that, on our upcoming procurements list, I know that we're advertising right now for legal services. There's several other technical procurements that are going out. So you really have to look at our upcoming projects list because it changes every month. Some go in and out, et cetera. But yes, our focus is at construction. It's usually construction tied to transit, but we may be building a building, like we're supposed to be building the MTS bus maintenance facility or whatever. So there's a lot of things that we do that may require lighting. So that's why I said you just got to get registered with us.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Anthony, do you mind sharing a few details for us?
We're the same as would be SANDAG. So the whole idea is the opportunities go to the primes. So you must be registered in the system so you can be notified so that you can meet those primes for those types of opportunities. And then on the procurement side of the house, again, there's a variety of opportunities there, and we're definitely encouraging you to go to CalUSource system. And I know there's a lot of systems that you have to register in terms of wanting these opportunities, but this is the way that you get your foot in the door to be able to at least get the introduction and get to meet the team and see what it's about.
Yes. And unfortunately, you know, that's part of how it works with the different agencies and the different governments. And, you know, there's
Right.
not one centralized location where all of this is posted. It would have to be regulated, and it would have to encompass everything that every public agency needs. And each public agency works a little different because of the funding that happens, because of the requirements and contract codes that we all need to follow. They're all different for each of us. So because we have all these different needs, unfortunately, we have to have you register in different methods because of the different needs that are put on us as public agencies by whatever government that's above us.
Exactly.
So thank you for pointing that out, Anthony. Let's see who we have next here. Bradley, would you like to tell us a little bit about the scope that you have going on?
Yeah, so just like the other agencies who spoke before me, our opportunities do go to the prime contractors, but we do highly encourage the prime contractors to reach out to small businesses, to DBEs, to provide them with opportunities. We try to formulate our procurements in such a way that it's just not one company doing every single thing on a contract. If it's possible that it can be provided to other smaller businesses. So the best thing is to register with our Planet Bids and see what kind of opportunities are coming up, or also attending our pre-bid meetings, because again, we have the networking opportunity for small businesses and DBEs and any other businesses who are interested in participating in the contract to get their contact information, be able to work with a larger prime contractor and have an opportunity to work on one of NCTD's contracts.
Excellent. Thank you, Bradley. Judy, would you like to tell us wow, the county just does so much. They purchase so much. They have so many different contracts in construction and professional services. Would you mind just kind of sharing maybe a little bit of just the various things, you know, from A to Z kind of type stuff that you do that the county procures and contracts out for?
Sure. So we contract out just about everything. So for us, for outreach events, I like to ask folks to try to name something that the county doesn't buy. And we just about buy everything. The only thing so far folks have been able to come up with that we don't buy are missiles or heavy weaponry. So rest assured, the county of San Diego is not buying any kind of heavy weaponry of any kind. But pretty much everything else we really do contract out or purchase at one point or another, just because of the breadth of departments that we do and the services that we offer. And I know we were talking about subcontracting opportunities. So for us, one of the neat tools for the County of San Diego is that all of our contracts are posted online and publicly visible. So if you go to sandiegocounty.gov/purchasing, there's a link to search contracts, and you can pull up any of our contracts from the past 5 years, going back to 2015. And it's a great tool because all of our contracts name a county point of contact and also point of contact for the vendor or the contractor. So that's a great way if you're looking for a specific subcontracting opportunity or you want to look in a specific service area to find those kind of contracts, and you can reach out to that point of contact because they will know everything about that project or that work.
Excellent. Thank you so much. That's a great resource, Judy. You know, sometimes the research portion is really important for vendors. You know, who has, what did this contract look like in the past? You know, it was awarded back then for this much now, maybe 2 years before that, it was awarded for a lot less. Maybe it's going to be awarded for a lot more, you know, this upcoming time. So all that information is really good and a great thing for folks to look at when you're researching and trying to break into working with public agencies. Thank you for that. Maria Ibarra from Caltrans. We have two Marias online here, so I have to clarify.
Yes.
But Maria from Caltrans, you know, like I said before, maybe you do have needs for roofing, but not as often as maybe some of us other agencies.
Yes.
Maybe more so stuff for our roads. So would you mind giving us just a quick little scope insight for Caltrans?
Yeah, just like SANDAG and UCSD and among others, we award contracts to our primes. So the best, I mean, we always tell our small business community that, you know, networking is key. You want to be out there, you want to market your business. So going on events, making sure that you go into Cali Procure to look at bidding opportunities, and you can filter those, Cali Procure, you can filter it as far as if you want to work with Caltrans, you can type in just the Department of Transportation. You can do a lot of things going through that as a search engine for bidding opportunities. As far as commodities goes, Caltrans purchases a long list of items from asphalt. We have barriers, we have power tools, wall clocks. We right now at the end of the year, we have a lot of calendar orders and things like that. So those can be found, again, Cali Procure. As far as construction projects, those can be found in our contractors corner. So look at those projects, look at those specifications, contact the primes that's been awarded those projects. So just reaching out to folks that's been awarded projects is a really good start.
Excellent. Thank you, Maria, so much for that information. And last but definitely not least, Shirley, would you mind giving us some insight as to the scope of work that may be solicited by the Port of San Diego?
So very similar. We are a public agency. We have a lot of similarities. But one thing about the district that I always like to point out is that our projects are a lot smaller than everybody else's. And so they're very feasible for a small business to be the prime contractor. We do have every now and then multi-million-dollar projects, and then there's subcontracting opportunities as well. But some of the areas of work would include public works. We don't have a lot of vertical work, but we do have a lot of like pavement maintenance, street lighting, modifications within our existing buildings, elevator and escalator type maintenance. On the best value or agreement side, we have a lot of environmental work, environmental impact reports, analysis, whether it be water quality, air quality, and then some of our purchases, pretty much what you would see at any other public agency, keeping in mind that we do have our own police force. So with K9 force as well. So anything related to safety, security. Maritime is a huge operation with a lot of different opportunities. I was looking at our list of agreements. Again, a lot of environmental. If there are any attorney firms out there, we do a lot of legal agreements. I don't know if that's good or bad, but it's always good to have a good team, right? A lot of vehicle purchases as well. So those are some of the things that are a little bit different nuances with the Port District.
Right. Excellent. Perfect. Thank you so much. So it sounds like there's something for everybody. You just have to kind of hone in on the agency that is going to be right for you. So it looks like that is all the time we have for questions today. Thank you to all of our panelists for helping out. We have one more panel session that will happen this afternoon, and I'll pass it back to Maria so that she could give you more details on the final presentation for the airport's Meet the Primes program. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Alma. And thank you all for participating in our public agency presentation. I want to remind everybody we do have another panel presentation this afternoon. It will start at 1. We have a SBDC presenting, and then we have a panel set up with the City of San Diego, Unified School District, and the U.S. Veteran Alliance Group. And then we have, to close out our event for today, it will be at 1:30, a business incentive presentation. So this company focuses on getting credits, incentives that the government has that a lot of times your CPA might not know about. So this is a great presentation. Please hope to see you guys all back. Also, I want to remind everybody that there is a survey. We're putting it's in the chat, the link for it. So please take your time to complete the survey. Give us your feedback. This is the way that we improve in planning these events. So I hope that everybody fills them out and provides us with honest feedback. A special thank you to all our public agencies that presented this morning. Without your help, without your support, we couldn't have done this. So thank you again for making it possible for us to have these events and helping us do this virtual Meet the Primes the first time. We will be closing out this session. Our next session starts at 1 o'clock. So please log back in a few minutes before so you could attend. And thank you, everybody.